Was it nights out with the boys, slamming drinks down at the bar? Was it all the pretty women and all the fancy cars? Was it 'cause I had a job and a nice girlfriend at home? Was it every time I fucked it up and had to sleep alone? Was it you or was it me? Was this pain a necessity? Was it everything I needed for the fight? 'Cause I went searching for the answer in the bottom of a bottle, but the bottom of the bottle always came up dry. Was it you or was it me? Was this pain a necessity? Was it everything I needed for the fight? 'Cause I went searching for the answer in the bottom of a bottle, but the bottom of the bottle always came up dry. Was he living on the streets with a needle in my arm? Was he waking up inside that fucking jail behind the bars? Was he sitting in a prison cell just praying that I would die? Or was he waking up from overdoses thanking God I'm still alive? Was it you or was it me? Was this pain a necessity? Was it everything I needed for the fight? 'Cause I went searching for the answer in the bottom of a bottle, but the bottom of the bottle always came up dry. Was it you or was it me? Was this pain a necessity? Was it everything I needed for the fight? 'Cause I went searching for the answer in the bottom of a bottle, but the bottom of the bottle always came up dry. Was it you or was it me? Was this pain a necessity? Was it everything I needed for the fight? 'Cause I went searching for the answer in the bottom of a bottle, but the bottom of the bottle always came up dry. Was it you or was it me? Was this pain a necessity? Was it everything I needed for the fight? 'Cause I went searching for the answer in the bottom of a bottle, but the bottom of the bottle always came up dry.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Happy New Year. Welcome to the first 2024 edition of the AOA Podcast. I'm your host, the Alpha Russ. I like the new stuff that I did for myself. Alpha. All it is an intro. Sucks. It sucks. Boo. L for us. Alright, well, I mean, that's your opinion. But I hope everyone had a wonderful and safe new year. It seems like every time the new year starts, it's pretty much like a I don't know, I guess you could say it's a cornucopia of suck. Like, we bask in the suck every January. But this year, it seems like things have been happening left and right. And it's been pretty interesting 2 weeks into the new year. But I know. What part of temporary setup do you don't understand, Bad Dog? Anyway. Let's see here. Let me get the first video up and running for you guys. Okay. Okay, stop. Thank you. Okay. I'll bring this back up here in just a second. So, the first topic that I do want to talk about is it's a kind of an update to it's basically an update to the completionist, because apparently the completionist hasn't been streaming since the whole stuff about his tax evasion stuff and him donating the money, because he kind of had to force, his hand was kind of forced into it. Well, I wouldn't say kinda, it was forced, because like, dude, come on, seriously, seriously, don't, like, what was it? Shit. Hold on. I'm doing a little bit. I'm trying to do a different type of setup to everything, so I'm having to pull everything up on my phone now. So let's see here. There we go. My regular doc. So I have the docu here. So this is a video by Josh Prime Unfiltered. He did a video saying the completion is beyond pathetic. About 2 or 3 days ago, he actually 4 days ago, so about 5 days ago, he had his first stream back in nearly a couple months since this whole thing started, with the whole, like, where's the money, Gerard, where's the money, and I kind of want to start just like listening to him kind of having a slightly DSP type of depressional tone to his repertoire. I think he heard of DSP and said, "Teach me your ways, DSP, of how to e-beg and gain sympathy for this." And the thing is, and it's even stated in this video. Now, I'm going to clarify here, because I don't have the clips, because I went to go get the clips from Reddit and also from Twitch. Gerard's pulling every stop just to make sure that there's no, like, no just the clip parts of him sounding absolutely pathetic. I'm being kind of honest here. So I got this first timestamp here, and this is how you know he's kind of getting into kind of a griff, the DSP griff here, so to speak. So let me go ahead and turn that up. And
everybody been hanging out with us? I hope so too. There's been a lot happening in my life,
like learning how to use a hair comb, a little bit beard oil here, at least flatten the beard oil. Like, look, I brush mine, at least. Here, I can even do a little ASMR here, just a little. There you go. You can even hear that. Let me actually turn, just tap. There you go. Like, it looks like this is really taking a toll on him, but maybe he's just trying to do that to get the griff on him, and he's becoming a shell of a guy. Now, I do understand, and I haven't seen the video. He put out a brand new video on his completionist channel, I think it was Super Mario RPG 20, I think it's like 30 years of history, something like that. I think that's the name of the title. I haven't really, like, I'm gonna kind of confess a little bit, because when I was really kind of a big fan of Gerard, I was, like, I rather watched him on live streams, because at least it was a little bit more genuine. But the more this stuff came out, the more it feels like, it kinda, in some aspects, felt like your parents just revealed that your dad was always the Easter Bunny, and Santa Claus, and I can't remember what the what's another one. Baby New Year was always your dad. That's what it was. And they were just telling you, they're not real, son. They're not real, daughter. They're not real. They're not real. They, them. We're a whole collective here. I'm just saying. But I mean, if it really has rattled him to that core, I mean, I hope he learns his lesson. But then again, like, there's another clip. There is another clip of the completionist here that we're gonna watch here as soon as we're done with this one.
In a lot of catastrophic, miserable, unhappy ways. Just like meteors upon meteors of bad news and bad vibes.
Like, I don't know, withholding almost $600,000 American that lost its value due to you holding on to the money and everything in between of that. Now, I'm gonna be kind of a little bit more generous to Gerard. And like, I was kind of thinking about this over the holiday season, and I was like, kind of like, maybe that Kris Kringle magic just kind of rubbing off on me a little bit, so we can get that what's the word I'm looking for, the magic in the air of hopefully maybe people will just forgive me if I actually do this thing and I donate the money immediately. Well, I have some bad news for you, the completionist. The IRS doesn't like people. And it does like people that owe them money. Like, and here's something that I kind of also was thinking about also, because he said that he wanted to go from a private to a public company. I do believe that that was a genuine idea and everything like that, because like I did kind of a little bit of reading up on it. And there's some stuff about private charities that I didn't know about. So like, private charities can kind of get away with holding money. There are some exceptions to the rule of that. If it was in the private sector of charities. But he went ahead and went to a public charity because he thinks that the transparency, or in this case, because Mudahar and what's his face? I can't even remember his name. You Glorious Legends, that guy, basically exposed you for taking a little bit of the money out of the kitty. Okay, you got your hand caught in the cookie jar, and you should feel this way. You should honestly feel this way. This isn't how it's supposed to be, but it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
Bad news.
okay, so the next time slot I have for this one is 3:37. Not even 37 seconds later. Hold on, I'm trying to get. I'll go to 36. It'll be fine.
To get even worse.
If you guys ever wonder what I look like after I get destroyed by the internet for anything, I just do this as best I can.
Even that dog is depressed. Man, that dog looks like, dude, I don't know why you're holding me a little too tight, but I get it.
Hey, Sinister Dev, think of it 23 months.
Welcome back to the crew.
No, I just mean like if something bad happens and I'm like feeling sad. I got a little yayo.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know how he spells that. I'm just kind of curious, right? Because like, I that is a weird ass name for a dog. Like, is it like yay like you're saying yay and then o, like yayo? Or are you spelling it like yo-yo and then just taking one of the O's out and making it I don't know. I don't know why I'm even explaining this. But the dog riff always works. Because some people who were a part of that, part of this return stream, they said that he got donated a lot of money and also with resubs and subscription stuff that has been given to him and everything like that. And I mean, I could see that as a all right, that's a-okay for me. Like I guess, like, I mean, you're still gonna have to pay the taxes, and IRS is probably gonna have a conversation with you about it. But yeah, no. So that's that. Let me. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. But that's kind of like the startup one, honestly. Like I think he's starting to go into. Someone said it on Twitter the other day, and I couldn't agree more. He is kind of getting into the boogie levels of I'm so sad. If you donate money to me, I won't be as sad. So let's see here. Nope. And boop.
Orthodox Jews led away in handcuffs.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of catching a little bit out of context here. So let me. Where's my page here? Had my other browser. Okay, there you go. So this is the next thing that's on topic. So I heard about this through actually a couple of coworkers of mine that seen some of this stuff happening, and it surprised me a little bit. It surprised me to see it happening. But if you're ever in New York, and obviously you go to one of the biggest synagogues, the 707 in Brooklyn, you know, you'll see some things like this happening, because apparently thanks to a tweet that I saw from Mario Nawfal, that I saw literally on my lunch break a couple hours after this guy told me about this. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds weird, but all right. It says, tunnel found under New York City synagogue. New York police discovered a secret tunnel under a synagogue in New York City that allowed the members of the Jewish sect Hasidic to attend the synagogue during lockdown. The tunnels were allegedly illegally dug around 6 months ago to expand the iconic synagogue. 10 people have been arrested. So, and this is the clip that's going to start it all, folks. This is the clip that's starting it all here. Also, we'll actually watch this again, as they're arresting someone, one of the radical members of this. We're gonna get to the reason why they're called. There's a radical thing into it because one of the people on TikTok I follow absolutely kind of talks about this stuff. In great circumstance here, so to speak. So you see this guy coming out of the grate, and these guys are upset, and like the police are going right there, you know, and everything like that, you know. You would think this is a New York Jets football game after they lost Aaron Rodgers, but you know we can't make that joke to the New Yorkers. I'm sorry, New Yorkers. You're gonna have to suffer for Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully he won't break a leg here. Just saying. For another year here. But what's crazy about this is usually like, and I've watched a few documentaries about it, right? I've watched a few documentaries that talk about like the nature of Hasidic Jews and everything like that. They're usually kind of peaceful and calm and everything like that. But there's as I'm understanding through a lot of the not only in the Christian channels but also in the Judaist channels, there's a lot of unrest amongst the most the pure, I guess you could say the most purest of the purest Hasidics, so to speak, people who believe that this iconic building, which is truly iconic building, it needed to go through the proper, you know, vetting and, you know, permits and everything like that. These guys have been building this stuff for a very long time, and like you can see how they put wood panels up to cover that. There they are arresting another few. And then this is the gentleman that coming out of the sewer. I wonder if you found Chris Christie's sandwich in there. I hope you did. Yeah, it was a hero hoagie. Extra cheese, extra Coca-Cola, you know, all that good stuff, you know. Like it. By the way, I like to point this out. That's a really small hole. Like, you know, I always like to think that not all people are. I do believe in the fact that not all people are created equal in terms of like size differentials. Like, there's some people who get the advantage of being small and fast and agile, and they could get away from bigger people, or bigger people, they could ultimately squish you. And then there's like the dudes that kind of like are in the middle that could fit honestly probably through that hole, but like I can't imagine myself trying to squeeze through that. They would literally have to like put enough pretty much enough butter to basically put me out of my misery to get me out of that grate, or they'll have to cut through the mesh and to get me to exist out of that grate. I mean, look, if the pizza rack can exist in there, so can I guess. At least the pizza rack will have something to eat. I'd just be sitting there in the cold air. Let's see here. So I was waiting all day. So I was like, okay, I gotta see what's going on and everything like that. So I go to one of my favorite TikTokers, which is Rabbi Raps. He explains Judaism the Hasidic Judaism very well. He's very well knowledged, and he is from the New York, New Jersey area, so he kind of has an idea what he's talking about and everything about that in terms of this. So there is another TikTok that he did that I will have to get here after this video, so we're just gonna give it a watch.
Jews led away in handcuffs at Chabad headquarters in Brooklyn, New York. This is the story going around the news. I'm getting a lot of requests. What's going on? I didn't want to bring light to the situation, but since it's out there, let's discuss. 770 Eastern Parkway is Chabad headquarters. It's the synagogue of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, where so many Chabadniks were inspired to go and spread Judaism around the world.
So, like, and I'm not a Judaism expert, but this is kind of the way I'm understanding it is this is the place where most rabbis come in the name of the Hasidic Judaism faith, and they have their annual meeting. They get inspired by the rabbi, the rabbi that's above them, and they go and spread Judaism in their own unique ways and everything. And I mean that for a house that big, that's pretty, like, that's a lot of people to house in it. So like I think they like there's people going in and out constantly just so they could experience the service and everything. It's kind of interesting to watch.
A small group, a rowdy group. Some members of this group decided to expand the synagogue without any permission, without any permits. And over the past few months, they dug out a whole section from the basement next door for their attempt of expanding the synagogue. When repealed.
Now, this is an explanation from him, and I think he's doing it as a way of kind of trying to make it make sense, but there's sometimes that it doesn't. And it did. Now, it didn't make sense to me at first, but I thought about it, and I mean, if you look at the
Eastern Parkway is Chabad headquarters. It's the synagogue of the
Lubavitcher.
where so many Chabadniks were inspired to go and spread Judaism around the world. Today in 7
Like, if you're having this many people in, then I would kind of see it to make sense. I mean, there is bigger sin as far as I'm aware of, because the Hasidic Judaism community in both New York and New Jersey is a very, very big place. It is a very, very big hotbed for it. In the eastern side of the United States. So you would think there would be synagogues that are like huge. Like we're talking like almost half of like the old the old Silver Dome, you know, the one that Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant in, allegedly. All right. No, that was the one that King Kong Bundy and Hogan fought each other in the cage. Yeah, that's all I remember. Anyway, so that's what he's trying to say here.
Damage, they stood in the way in protest. The authorities were called and they were forcefully removed.
So he's basically telling them that, like, you know, the rabbi, and they did get permission for the rabbi who's in charge of the estate, or permits from the city or state. So they basically called in reinforcements to repair it. They even called a concrete truck. Like, I never heard of a police call asking for a cement truck. A cement truck. Think about that for a minute. I want you all to think about the most wildest, craziest, like, thing in your brain that you would think you would ever hear needed as a request for the local PD. Like, I mean, I've heard some crazy ones over the years. They needed a pig. They needed someone to go get someone's dentures over the years. Like someone's dad's hat from like down the road, all under like some some hostage negotiations type of stuff, you know, that type of stuff that's happening. And it's I get it. Like there's a group, there is a big a decent sized group of people in the Hasidic community that believe that they could take the land and do what they need to do in order to expand for Judaism and everything like that. And I get that. I understand that. But there's means to the ends, so to speak, right? There's supposed to be means to the ends of everything. So I was just kind of like, okay, so that kind of explains it. And then, let's see here. So the next one here.
What about the blood?
Okay, so this was a comment from the last video, because in the original video before in the AF post, or not the AF post, I think it's in this one. Oh.
I can help.
So it's not in this video, but in some of the original videos that I've seen, there is people that have talked about this mattress that is in in some of the synagogues, and apparently it was in the tunnel while they were digging, and it was used for and it was, I guess it was probably used to dig in the ground. Like I kind of look close at it. It doesn't look like it. If it was, then there would be a lot more to the story immediately and everything like that. Like, because the one thing I've kind of noticed, especially in the bigger cities, when they do those types of busts, if they find um, if they find something like that, like a random brownish stain on a mattress and everything like that, they're going to be asking more questions. And I think they probably are asking questions. Like I could speculate that it was probably like from blood from people that have dug the tunnels over time. Which, by the way, is a sanitary. I like to point that out. That's not very sanitary at all. But oh, where is my pointer? Oh. There you go. Okay, so this is what the
Blood on the children's mattresses. I shouldn't even answer this question, but so many people made these comments, so I guess I'll address it. Yesterday, a group of the yeshiva students were arrested in 770 Eastern Parkway. They came up with the great idea to expand the synagogue and break down the wall without the permission of the rabbis or the authorities, and they were asked to leave, so the place could be prepared. They didn't want to leave, and so they were arrested. It made national news, and then all the anti-Semites of the world started with all kind of
crazy sinister theories. Yes, they had. I even seen this, and I think this is from the natural high of me playing the Alex Jones NWO War game. Like I'm sitting there. I like to think that there's some people, right, that they're just wearing some tinfoil hats as soon as they hear something about this, and they're like, "Well, let me tell you something right now, fellas. The Jewish population right now, they're making tunnels for the aliens to come down from." To come up from Miami, they're going to dig all the way down through the sewers. They're going to find the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then they're going to do whatever the Ninja Turtles are going to do to them. I can't really do this. I can't really do the Alex Jones impression for long. You know, stupid conspiracy stuff like that. You know, but. I want to point out, by the way, I want to make this very abundantly clear, because this rabbi is only using speculation. Not these guys on the right in the comment section will probably not, like, you know, make a big difference about it and everything, so.
video where someone was holding a bloody mattress. So someone was holding a mattress to block the cameras because they didn't want this all over the news. That didn't work. Now, the mattress was dirty. Why was there a mattress in the synagogue? Why was it dirty? Well, there's a mattress in 770 because there's a lot of students that actually come from around the world to stay overnight and to study there. And sometimes people bring a mattress and put it in a hallway. There shouldn't be mattresses in the hallway, but there are. I've seen that.
See, so that's actually a true thing that I've seen in a lot of documentaries, especially considering the synagogue in New York. And like he says, so like I think he's kind of being like, you know, optimistic, like it's not like something that isn't of human. I think he's probably thinking like it's mud or something like that, or a stew. But that's basically what. Hold on, let's see here. is this not working? I can't find my... Oh god. I don't think my arrow has appeared, so... pardon me for a minute. I like to apologize. Technical difficulties right now at the moment. I need to figure out if... Oh, nope, that's unlocked. No. What the frick? Okay, why? Oh god. Hold on. my arrow disappeared, so like I don't know if it's just like because I'm sharing my screen through Brave or something like that. Let me okay. Cancel. Oh my god. This is bad. Okay. Like where the hell is my... Maybe if I just only... This is becoming a learning curve here, folks. I don't know why my oh. So hold on here. Let me do setting. I'll just make it a hotkey real quick. Hotkey for which browser is it? Oh, I like to window capture. I'll just do 5, 4, and we can just okay. Nope, 4. I just want that. Why does this have to happen to me? Okay, I need to know. See, this is why technical difficulties are always gonna get me. In the most hottest of troubles here. There you go. Okay, so let's see, 4. There we go. Let me switch over to fucking let me get my browser out of the way. Let me... Okay, there it is. So I can't use both. I can't use all Brave. So, alright, so this was, by the way, mad shout out to, so now we got a couple of videos to get through. I was gonna do a This Week in Florida Man because of the technical difficulties. And because of some of these, and the Vice City visitors, I might just do a separate video, with those. But But right now, I want to talk about this real quick because,
Hey there, I'm the Mad Catster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, we know that Blair, the Illuminati.
Ooh, hold on here, hold on, Madcaster, hold on. Brave. Properties. There we go. All right. So I was kind of alerted about this. I'm not. I wasn't really into the lore of Illuminati, so to speak. I've heard about some of the shit that she's done over the years, and sometimes some things translate very well, some don't. So, but recently, apparently, Illuminati has been in some legal trouble and everything like that. So, a lot of the people within the tea community are kind of celebrating that for whatever reason. I have no idea. Like, I might have to ask, but it was recommended that I react to it because it is a it's apparently really fucked, I guess. Okay, I wouldn't say it's really fucked. I think it's just someone was just being stupid with their money and then they fucked around and found out.
Hey there, I'm the Mad Catster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, we know that Blair, the Illuminati.
Hold on, I'm gonna put this in quartering speed.
Is suing her former partner Oz Media as well as a couple of her former employees. Well, the tables have been turned because now the Illuminati is being sued herself by both the state of Colorado and creditors. You know me, I've got the deets and all the receipts, so buckle up and let's go.
You know what, Madcasters? It's just reminding me of the old stick figure games with this introduction. I'm just saying. But I mean, hey, look, if you got a big old Uno reverse and it's coming straight out of the local state offices, oh boy, yeah, you know you might be serving time in the booty house.
So I'm here with Sybil the Enforcer, and Sybil says like and subscribe because we are just about 100 subscribers away from hitting 35,000 subscribers. I'd like to do it by January 1st, so if you're not subscribed, please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. I've got some people to thank for the Amazon wishlist, and we've reviewed that. If you haven't seen the video, go watch the video that I put up about it, and I go and break down basically the whole thing. You know, I think it's a frivolous lawsuit. I think it's really crap, and I don't think it's going to survive. I've now learned that she herself has been the subject and is the subject of a couple of legal actions. And the first thing I want to talk about here is Colorado has what's known as a delinquent taxpayer list. And Colorado is where Illuminati lives. So this is public information, but this is from the Colorado Department of Revenue. And you'll see Blair here, and I've redacted, of course, the personal information.
Oh my god. Oh, why do YouTubers don't pay their taxes? I don't know. First Gerard, now the Illuminati. Y'all need some better tax people. Y'all really need some better tax people.
And you can see that they show that she owes taxes from 2021 in the amount of $11,269, and she owes taxes from 2020 in the amount of $2,919. For a total, they're saying outstanding $14,188. And so then I wondered, well, is this like up to date? Is there a chance that these have been paid off? You'll see here it says delinquent taxpayer list, and it specifically states this list contains only those taxpayers that have not resolved their debt. So according to the Department of Revenue in Colorado, Blair still owes unpaid taxes. And I'm going to show you in a second that they've
Okay. So she only paid taxes for 2 years? So she only paid taxes for 2020 and then 2021. Okay.
actually got a judgment against her for some of that tax debt, and we're going to look at that here, as well as we're going to look at the creditor lawsuit that's currently pending in court that was just filed a couple of weeks ago. So you see here is the court document that I got from the clerk in Colorado, and it says Department of Revenue versus Blair. Again, I redacted it. It's the Colorado Department of Revenue. On July 3rd, they got a distraint warrant, which is apparently what they call this particular type of action that they filed in the court. On July 3rd, the case was closed because the court issued judgment. My guess is she didn't fight it or try to fight it, and it's a status unsatisfied. She has not paid this according to this, and the judgment amount is for $26,796 total, and that's just the principal. And usually when you get a judgment, not only, I'm sure, has interest been accruing since she went delinquent on the taxes, but when the judgment hits, the court also starts calculating interest. So she's going to be responsible for that almost $27,000.
So basically, there's an interest rate on top of the... So it's like the federal interest rate and then the state tax rate, interest rate. Now she's gonna have to pay the court's interest rate on top of that. That's quadrupling. This woman will never get out of debt. Honestly, that's how it sounds like. For $27,000, like if you put with interest, and it's now 2024. That's 3 years. 3 years interest. If they do it with the a year's interest, that's a lot of money. Like that's you need to sell your home and all the goodies that are in it, type of stuff.
$1,000 plus interest. In order to satisfy that, if she doesn't pay it, they may try to get a lien maybe on her house or on some other property of hers to try to get that paid off. So if I were her, I'd address that pretty fast, because the one entity you don't want to screw with is the government, whether it's your state, local, or federal government, because they will not ignore this. I'm guessing she's financially not in the best position right now, in my opinion, when you see this lawsuit that one of her creditors filed. So this, you'll see here's the complaint, and it says complaint under simplified civil procedure, which is basically like small claims, and it's Marshall Recovery 2 LLC, which is a debt collector, I'm guessing, against Blair. Again, I've redacted it. It was filed on December 5th. It says such claim arises from the following transactions: failure to make payment on account with plaintiff's predecessor in interest. Predecessor in interest means somebody else originally owned the debt, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with what happens when debt goes to collection, but a lot of times the original creditor writes it off and then they sell the debt at a discount to another entity who then will either try to collect the debt or end up filing something in court, or it could get sold again. You'll see in a minute what happened with this debt. But it says predecessor in interest, Wayfair First Electronic Bank, Genesis FS Card Services, Inc. My guess is that Wayfair is like Wayfair, you know, the online retailer. So the amount claimed from the defendant is now get this, is principal of $3,611.18 plus accumulated interest and costs. That's really weird to me, because you would think with all the money that she must make off her channel that a $3,600 debt wouldn't be something you would default on. That's why I'm saying I'm wondering if she's having bigger financial problems than we're aware of. When you take a debtor to court, because I've been involved with similar cases to this, you have to prove the validity of the debt. And one of the ways you do that is you provide like account statements, and sometimes there's affidavits, and you've got to show the chain of custody of the note from the original creditor to whoever ends up with it and whoever ends up filing in court. You can see here are statements, and it shows that, you know, here's one for $3,811.18. I'm assuming that was the final one. You can see there's several statements here that they provided to the court showing the progression of the defaulted debt. Now here,
Jesus. Okay. So Wayfair basically, because if I remember correctly, doesn't Wayfair have a card? I think Wayfair has a card, if I'm not mistaken. Wayfair, I think, does have a like a credit card. Does anyone know? Chat? No. I don't shop at Wayfair. Like, I'm sorry, I don't. I shop Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy. That's like my trilogy here. Okay. Like, I have no idea
what happened with this debt. So you see here, originally, the debt was owned by Genesis FS Card Services, Inc., who must be the credit company that provides the card for Wayfair. Usually third-party finance companies handle the actual administration of the accounts. It's no longer the retailer that does it. And you can see here, Genesis FS Card Services sold to Brightwater Investments on July 23rd, 2019.
So, let's see here, Genesis, in consideration of the purchase price. Which I hereby transfer all rights, title, interest to the claims. Blah, 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 blah. So this is a bill of sale for the card. I'm assuming.
And on the 3rd of November 2021, Brightwater Investments sold to BW34 LLC. And then on the 19th of January 2022, BW34 LLC sold to Island Wide Consulting Group. And then, I know, isn't that ridiculous? And then Island Wide Consulting sold to Peppertree Capital Inc. on 19 January 2022. And then Peppertree Capital sold it to Marshall Recovery 2 LLC, who currently owns the debt and is the one who filed this lawsuit. And that happened on also the 19th of January 2022.
So wait, okay, so the liability company that owns the debt sold it to another company, sold another company, sold another company, sold another company. It was just playing tag until they were like, "Listen, you're our only hope." Like, and then they're like, "Well, if she doesn't pay, she's getting sued. She's getting sued out of her butt."
Really crazy that you have all of these debt buyers, and several of these transactions all happened on the same day, which I find to be really strange. So now Marshall Recovery 2 LLC owns it. They filed the lawsuit. She's going to have to answer it, or she'll be defaulted on it. They'll get a judgment against her. It'll be for the principal plus the interest, and then they'll try to collect it. Believe me, when it's a debt buyer versus like the original creditor, sometimes original creditors will write it off and they'll kind of let it go. If it's small enough, these people are debt buyers. They're in this to get the money because they paid pennies on the dollar for the actual debt, and now they want the full value of the debt. That's how they make their money. So they're going to try to get a judgment. I'm sure they will get a judgment unless she pays it in the interim and makes a deal with them. And then they'll go after her. And they will file a lien against property or whatever to try to get this satisfied. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with me that it's kind of...
So, I think, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here a little bit. But, from the sounds of it, it sounds like it just sounds like people are about to get a lot more weirder. Okay, so never mind. My brain. Okay. No, it just sounds to me that Illuminati probably isn't really good money. I know a lot of people who do YouTube on the like part-time and full-time basis that they hired someone to basically take care of their finances and everything like that. And like, not to anyone's fault, like, you know, maybe I'm gonna give her a benefit of the doubt here for a minute and just say, like, you know, she didn't know what to do with the money and she spent it all, and then, like, you know, certain things that need to be paid off weren't getting paid off in time, and then it masked this debt, and now it's coming full circle for her. And like, I mean, it's like, I mean, if you pay your taxes, folks, like, pay your freaking taxes. Cause look, as much as I don't want to pay any taxes, I have to pay taxes. If everyone has to pay taxes, so does she. And I mean, I hope she doesn't lose her house or has to get her YouTube wages garnished every month, because then that means she's gonna have to get a part-time job, and I don't think people like having a part-time job. I really don't. Especially if they were part of like the tea community and the art community, some sorts, and everything like that. So, but that's interesting. That's an interesting thing. Actually, you know what? We might as well just go ahead and go with the Florida man stuff, because honestly, I like listening to some stuff that the Florida man has allegedly done. So we're gonna get to we're gonna start with the ladies, because ladies first. So we're gonna get to the we're gonna start with the ladies, because ladies first. So, this is a segment I'm calling This Week in Florida. Or This Month in Florida. This week, a Florida woman, Florida man. So we're going to start with a Florida woman here. And these all came from the Reddit of the Florida man Reddit. So if you know me, I like listening to a good old Florida man story. I love a good Florida man story. And this one, I really like it because it's just it's too goofy to be true, right? Like, it's too goofy. Hold on a second. Sorry. But like, you know, I always like hearing about a Florida woman, or a man doing something so bizarre. And this was literally the first story that I was like, I don't know if I really want to talk about the story, but this seems like something that I want to hear the police, like I want to hear the 911 call when they were talking about trying to talk to this woman about her driveway, her entire driveway being stolen. Now, here's the screenshot of the driveway that was in question, I guess. And if you leave, and this is, I like how this article begins. By the way, this is from the Jalpnik website. Colin Woodward, and this was published on Monday, so this was not too long ago. It says, if you leave things in your yard, you shouldn't be surprised if they get stolen. People are optimistic. If they see your kid's bike sitting there unsecured, they may decide it's a perfect opportunity to give it to their kid. Because look, if it's sitting on the ground, it's in perfectly good shape, and it costs them $3.99, or if they get caught, it's $3 to $5 in some states. Then I mean, I would not be doing that type of stuff, unless you can pay me a Bitcoin, maybe. But I'm joking. These are jokes, okay? But apparently. Because apparently, it's one thing that if it's like a bike or like a push lawnmower or maybe some tools here and there, like gardening tools and everything like that. I've seen that happen before. Even people taking like body parts off of a car too. But never in my life have I ever heard a driveway being stolen. But and it basically says, however, one woman recently came home to find that her entire driveway has been stolen. According to the victim, we'll just call her Amanda. It all began when she put her house up for sale. She had some renovations done, including replacing the roof. Over the course of several days, her son counted at least 5 contractors coming by to measure the driveway. When confronted, one of the contractors said a man who identified himself as Andre had contacted them about a driveway replacement and claimed that he was the landlord. When asked for proof that he owned the house, he stopped responding. Burke then called the cops, who got in contact with Andre, who claimed he accidentally gave the contractor the wrong address. Not long after that, her driveway disappeared. I come home, my driveway is gone. What? Okay. I can't fathom the IQ level of this. Like, who? First of all, This poor woman ain't even a Florida woman. This is a whole all Florida, like a Florida contracting company full of Florida men, probably. Just decided, we're gonna take our driveway. Why? I don't know. Maybe just for shits and giggles. It's like, okay, well, fine, whatever. Let's see. As it turned out, Amanda and the contractor who removed her driveway were victims of an overpayment scam. Scammers like Andre look for houses that are listed for sale online, pretend to be the homeowner, and get a contractor to give them a quote for some work on their house. Then they'll send a check for more than an agreed upon amount. Then they will ask for a refund. After the contractor sends the money back, they find out the check bounces, meaning they don't get paid and they lost whatever money they refunded. Now, I've seen the scam happen in my local area. It's kind of unfortunate. It's one of the few things that I sympathize with this young lady. But at the same time, it's like, you gotta know who you're working with. Like, you gotta do like background checks, everything, like the whole 9 yards. Do your due diligence and research, like, cause honestly, and that driveway, actually, if you think about it, you could put gravel down. There's people who put gravel driveways down for like a couple thousand. Or you basically get like a couple of buddies in their truck. You get like a couple of truck bedfuls of gravel. You guys basically shovel the gravel into the road, and then you smooth it out, and then you got a driveway. It's simple like that. Like I've had one in most of my houses over the years. You know, we haven't had one problem with it. And that's the reason why. After her story originally aired, a local business volunteered to replace her driveway for free. Still, it's a good reminder that if you aren't careful, if you try to sell a house, you need to be careful that someone doesn't steal your driveway. So basically, like, make sure if you show up to the house, make sure you have the proper identification and everything like that for it. And all that. But so that's the Florida woman story. The Florida woman story was just a little creme de la creme. But this one, I seen this on TikTok, and I really was interested in this, and I was absolutely blown away by this, and this is why. There is times where, if a guy got to go do what he's got to do to a bathroom, whether it's blowing it up Taco Bell style, you know, they can. And oh boy, this one's interesting because Florida man. By the way, this is the Messenger News. Elizabeth Urban says Florida man claims Dunkin' Donuts toilet. I'm calling it Dunkin' Donuts for the sake of this. Dunkin' toilet explodes and covered him in the uck. Sues for loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life. The lawsuit claims that the employees told the man that they were aware of the problem with the toilet. Florida man. See, now this is where it gets classic here. This is where you know something of hilarity is to happen. Let's see here. Has filed a lawsuit against Duncan, claiming that he is no longer able to enjoy life because during a 2022 visit, a location's toilet allegedly exploded and covered him in the ick and the drink. Well, in this case, the poo and the boo. The lawsuit filed Wednesday against Dunkin' franchise HCOZ Donuts LCC, so like a local park representative, like franchisee that owns it, said that claimed that the incident happened when Paul We'll just call him Florida Man Paul. Visit the coffee shop in Winter Park on January 6, 2022. The lawsuit alleges that Keurig went to use the restroom where a toilet allegedly exploded, causing Keurig and the room to become covered in debris, including the dew in the ooh. According to the lawsuit filed by his attorney, Florida Man attorney man. We'll call him that. Following the incident, Keurig reportedly left the bathroom and asked the police for help cleaning himself. According to the lawsuit, police told Keurig that they were aware of the problem with the toilet. And this wasn't not the first time something like this has happened. Okay, hold on. So you mean to tell me? And I've enjoyed Dunkin' Donuts food for many years. I'm a huge fan of it. Huge fan of their cake donuts. They're one of my favorites. Top 10. Like, no matter what, they're one of my favorites. And you're telling me that the employees were aware of the toilet exploding. Now, I have to ask this. Is this like, is the toilet like, scootin' bop bop da da da, explosion style, or are we talking like all it takes is one flush and all of a sudden the top of the lid just kind of falls back and like it hits you with like poop water and like wee water or whatever, poopy wee wee, poopy poo poo, pee poo poo poo, whatever you want to call it. And they were aware of this. First of all, you need to get an exorcism for your toilet. Because if it's exploding like this, first of all, you need to get a poor exorcism on that thing. That thing needs to be with the Lord, okay? The Lord. Lort, Lord, okay? That's not Lord, the Lord, okay? That thing is suffering pain and suffering itself because it's exploding. Now, if it's like one of those things where a part came, like a part broke on the back where like the water, where like all the mechanical parts for it to make the toilet work, like just kind of popped up all of a sudden and like, played Chocolate Starfish Peekaboo, then maybe I could see here. I'm sorry. I got myself with that. That's funny. I'm sorry. That's funny to me. I don't care who you are. That's very funny. The fact that they were playing, the toilet was playing a Chocolate Starfish Peekaboo with something maybe that enough to where it splashed poo and pee water all over him and he was all covered in it. It was like a Splash Mountain moment, probably. He was in the splash zone. He didn't know it. As soon as he tried to zip his pants up and all of a sudden, all he got was a sploosh. After he tried to hit he flushed the water. We had so when I was in high school, we had a wrestling, our wrestling room had a toilet that ran hot water, and not just ordinary hot water. Like this was like nuclear hot water. Like if you peed in it, you would see steam. That's how hot the toilet water is. And to my recollection, and to this day, I'm still amazed the fact that they haven't done anything about it, because I've heard stories over the years by teachers who have used that locker room bathroom because all the other restrooms were broken. And that's wild. That's really wild to me. How in the world are you gonna try to drop the kids at the pool, and as soon as one of the kids goes into the pool, you just get a floomp and just like, peekaboo's your chocolate stuff. Maybe I'm not thinking like this was like the classic like CKY, like we put firecrackers in the toilets and it exploded type of deal. Like maybe someone before them put a firecracker in there and all of a sudden it just exploded when that poor man came in. Like he was about to do his business and all of a sudden just a boom. And just, like he has glasses on, so he takes them off and like you could see his eyes, but everywhere else, like where his glasses were, everywhere else just poo and pee. Like he just got the R. Kelly in the porta potty special, like all that. Oh. Look, if you were to like, I'm gonna finish the segment because it is weird. It's a little TMI in my opinion, but at the same time, it's a Florida man story. But let me put it this way: if I had to choose between getting ridiculed for having a whole bunch of that stuff, the natural spackle in the natural acid that comes out of you, I probably would rather try to take a number 2 in the nuclear hot water toilet, hoping that it doesn't try to like plume on my chocolate starfish and all that, just so I can use the restroom. Playing peekaboo with your just chocolate starfish. That's a good one. Oh my goodness. I can't. Why do I see, this is the reason why I try to come up with segments that just like don't like either blow my mind to the point where like I'm near speechless, or I'm just like, okay, this is a little too much, even for me. All right, that's telling you something. But yeah, that is the This Week in Florida Man. Let me switch over to this story that also happened a couple days ago. Now, I have to warn people here for a minute. First of all, whatever you believe in terms of like political opinion and everything like that, I respect your opinion. Everyone's entitled to opinion, but we got to talk about this. We definitely got to talk about the aliens here for a minute because aliens are an interesting creature. We're looking at the Independent, the UK Independent, not the I think it's Washington DC, if I'm correct. Independent. We're looking at the UK Independent is the US edition where it says which is alien speculation engulfs Miami Mall after curious New Year's Day photo or video. A large fight caused chaos within a Miami mall on New Year's Day. However, there's some speculation that the large police presence was something for more extraterrestrial. Million Eth is writing the story. So, okay, so when I saw this, I have to be completely honest. sometimes my brain doesn't register immediately what's going on. And by the way, I'll actually let me do this real quick because I do notice that you guys are probably not going to see most of the writing in some of these stories, so I do apologize if you don't see the stories. The stories will be linked on the pinned comment after the stream is over, but I gotta say, you know, the Vice City visitors just came in just like a wrecking ball here. So this is the video. We're gonna watch it here in a minute, but so this is basically some of the context of what is going on. So a viral video showing a heavy police presence around the Bayside marketplace in Miami on New Year's Day. Many speculate that aliens, and we're not talking about the illegal ones, of the variety of that, but the Martian, like Marvin Martian variety, decided to come celebrate New Year's with us in 2024, but police confirmed that they were there to dissolve a large fight that broke out between a group of about 50 teenagers, which resulted in multiple arrests. Yet some people have their own theories and posted on social media. Social media days after the incident, suggesting what was really going on to attract all the blue lights. Now, okay, so I gotta be kind of honest here. The fact that we, and you're about to see it right here. Okay, so this is my whole thing, right? Why are we not, like, is there, like, why are we not getting like a prison van or a prison bus, something like that, just to kind of hold everyone in a seat to figure out what's going on, so that way a story is being told and everything, and everything of that, so that way they can understand what's going on. And so I'm watching this on TikTok. Like, this is like at 3:00 in the morning. Like, I'm about to go to bed. I'm just fascinated by this, and like I'm hearing a lot of people share this clip, talk about like there was allegedly there was aliens there, apparently, by multiple witnesses and everything like that. So let's see if there's some people talking about it. Yet people have their own theories of posted on social media. After the incident, so just what's going on, aliens had taken a visit to the mall. Now, if anyone's a big fan of Futurama, and I'm a huge fan of Futurama, I love Futurama. Futurama is one of my favorite shows. Shout out to Billy Weston, John DiMaglio, and Katie Segal. One of my favorite. All three are my favorite voice actors. When I watched Futurama and they talked about like the concept of like, you know, you're going to another planet to shop, I was like, man, what if aliens actually do that? And now that we're starting to see a lot more stuff happening lately where it's showing up to a point where now we kind of can't ignore it, so to speak. Yeah. We would like to know. But unfortunately, UFO spotters, extraterrestrial enthusiasts, the city and Miami Police Department put theories to bed. There was no aliens, UFOs, or ETs. No airports were closed, so no power outages. Nothing is being withheld from the public. LOL. Okay, first of all, whoever's so I'm assuming this officer here, the public information officer, Officer Vega, in an email, yeah, please don't ever use that again. Just say haha, you know. That's a little bit more appropriate for people my age and older. Clips taken from the viral video were being reshared on social media, claiming that an 8 to 10-foot alien could be seen on the mall at the New Year's Day. The low quality clip appears to show a tall glowing figure near the police vehicles, although other users on X pointed out that it is likely to be, in fact, 2 or 3 people walking next to each other. 10-foot alien creatures caught on camera, fired at inside an outside mall, Miami mall. Media is silent. Cops are covering it up, saying kids were fighting with fireworks, yet all those cop cars there, traffic stopped that night, except for black military choppers. Okay. First of all, if kids are fighting with fireworks, I expect Kota Ibushi just to appear out of nowhere and just do a random 450 splash on someone and then pin him for the 1-2-3. Hit him with the Kamigoye, maybe. But there's no fireworks in the world that could possibly make the effect, make it look like there was a 10-foot person there. So like we're taking a look here. We're looking at this footage, and now look at this. There's a lot of cars, a lot of police cars in all of this. They're lined up. Someone could have gotten robbed at like your local Wawa. Shout out to Wawa, by the way. Wawa's the G's. Someone probably was getting held up at gunpoint, and when the police officers finally come, and they're sitting there like, "Oh God, you guys are late. He just left. I don't even remember what he looked like." Well, we like to apologize, man. We're trying to look for an alien. A what? It's like alien, you know, big UFO, you know, Marvin the Martian, stuff like that. Casper the Friendly Ghost, everything of that matter. Like, look at this. This goes on for a mile. And I know Miami is a huge town, but jeepers. I'm not saying it was aliens memes. All right. Yeah, right, Epic? Right. Okay. Like, I'm just saying. Like, look at this. Oh, wait, by the way, D Club. Maybe they're trying to show off and just sit there and go like, "You're not the only tall and long thing that we have here. Check out our D." Okay? And it's not the Deagle either. All right? Like that type of thing. I look forward to your angry letters of these cringe jokes. Okay? Like, look at this. Traffic says stand still. They don't know what the hell's going on. Like, my answer is, like, what if it was more than 50 kids, like, fighting, why do they need, like, a whole bunch of cars? Like, if it's like 2 separate groups, like, you get two of the carry vans that you do for, like, jails to transfer them over to, like, the prisons and everything like that. You put them in there. Or you get most of your SUV ones, and then you put most of them in there, like three in at a time. I'm sorry if you're in the middle and you're small, and if someone cops a fart, the police officer ain't gonna feel bad for you because he's the only one that has control of the actual windows. Like, this fascinates me, and by the way, I don't see no creature. Now, look, there. Now, okay, maybe. Because look at everyone just like really freaking out, like with their lights, like where is he? Where is he? I see him. I see him. Probably his baby alligators or iguanas, just literally just kind of just running around, like jump scaring, like it's a Lethal Company game. You know, there's no yippies coming out to take your loot. Okay, cheapers. Okay, like let's see here. Instead of, however, we're not so convinced with one user writing, everyone had cell phones, but nobody had an up close video of the 10 foot alien by a Miami mall. Instead, let's see here. Let's see. Instead of an alien invasion, a group of juveniles were being dealt with by the large police fleet, who allegedly were also setting off fireworks, causing panic across the mall. And an arrest report said, in an arrest report, according to the outlet, the chaos ensured disrupted and damaged businesses in the area, while aliens were taken in for questioning. No aliens. They did take some aliens. I knew it. I had the feeling. Oh my god. While no aliens were taken in for questioning, 4 teenagers have been arrested. Huge brawl broke just about 8:30 on New Year's Day. Look, if you're first of all, if you're a juvenile and you gave your you told everyone that you were going to catch, that someone was going to catch these hands because it's rated E for everyone, and you go to jail New Year's Day, you know what? I hope your mom didn't get you out until the next day. Like, because honestly, if I'm slightly kind of rude for this, but if I had kids and they called me on New Year's Day and I was like partying like a rock star, I'm gonna literally sit there, look at the phone and sit there and go like, in the famous words of Brock Lesnar, fuck them kids. Fuck you, kid. I'll see you in the morning. It's like, you know, Jesus. Like, that blows my mind. Like, that they needed that many cars? Like, how big did they all like transform to become a Megatron of teenagers? Like, this kid say the N-word slur. I don't know why I was about to go with that, but it's like, oh, this kid said a slur. Autobots, roll out. Activate Mega Mode. Like, they became a Megatron or a Gundam at one point, I think. Maybe they became the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers ultimate, like, Megazord of human beings. And apparently they rolled all Nat 1 for it. Maybe, you know what? Maybe those kids were trying to try out for DDT Pro Wrestling, because you know how I am about DDT Pro Wrestling. If there is fireworks and dudes in spandex fighting in a random place somewhere in a forest or at like a swimming retreat or whatever it is, if there's a firework right nearby and if it's not used, I'm sadly disappointed. Like, there should have been like a random DDT referee right there ready to count it. Just like 1, 2, 3, ring the bell. Like, that's the chaos I was wanting. That's the chaos I was looking at. Look, the Miami Mall alien, okay? And he got the lugs. He shops lugs. He shopped for shoes that are 3 times his size. Though I will say that jackets look really, really comfortable. I don't know about the fedora, but... And that's not... I don't even think that's even a car. I think that's like a motorcycle. Definitely not a K car. But that's oh, nope. There you go. Okay. I hit the wrong button, Kronk. All right. So I'm kind of skating through this, so I'm trying to make it under 2 hours. We're gonna be kind of slightly over, so bear with me on this. So there's a lot of people retiring as of late. I mean, obviously, we just learned tonight, fucking Nick Saban of the legendary Alabama Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, retired after 20 plus seasons in the NCAA, winning over 7 championships with the Roll Tide. And I gotta say, like, you know, there's some things. Let's see here. Pete Carroll, there's a lot of rumors that he's gonna retire after this. A lot of people are retiring this year. Sting is retiring in March. Daniel Bryan's gonna go to a part-time schedule. There's a lot of people. Kevin Harvick retired last year. NASCAR driver Kevin Harvick. There's talks about after his next fight that Conor McGregor is going to retire and go to politics. Those are some big things. But this one came out of left field, out of nowhere, literally like an RKO out of nowhere. Because this wasn't just a theory, this was a game theory. A lot of people. So to give some context, there was a certain thing Matt Pat gave in one of the Five Nights at Freddy's game theory videos that had an address that actually was a legitimate address, which was to be found out that it was a non-real address, and they were harassing these people that were at this address that he accidentally put out there, and he apologized for that. He took the L, he took it like a man, right? And everything like that. I wouldn't think this would be as affecting him as much. That's at least in my opinion, because I haven't seen this video yet. But man, when I opened up Twitter yesterday, I was to say I'm not shocked anymore is an understatement, because Matt Pat posted on his Game Theorists YouTube that he says goodbye internet. So we're all gonna watch this. I am gonna put this on 1.5 speed, the quartering speed, and we're gonna give this a shot.
It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my last Theory episode, at which point I'll be handing off the channels to someone else. There it is. That's it. Send tweet. We're all done here. That's all you need to know, right? Oh, wow. Forgive me, by the way, if I'm a little bit more disorganized than usual. Normally, I would want to script out something like this pretty precisely. But with an announcement like this, I wanted to bring it back to just us. There's no one else in the room. There's no teleprompters. There's no nothing. It's just the way that this whole thing started. It's a conversation between us. And sorry that I keep getting emotional about this. I'll try not to, but it's a big deal. You know, like
that, and that's like I could feel the emotion coming from him. Like, you know, like when I read a Dexerto article that was about this. because like the way that I kind of always figure out if things are legit is either if Dexterito puts a report out there that isn't like clickbaity or anything like that, and there's multiple people posting it more about it, and there's like confirmation and everything in between, like friends and coworkers and associates that he has worked with over the years, you know, and everything like that. And I'm happy for him. I think he has been on the internet for over 15, almost 15, 18 years. That's a long time to be on the internet. Like, some of us wish we had that longevity. I don't. Everyone kind of knows how I feel about my longevity and everything like that. I know I'm not going to be around very much longer. 5 years down the line, you know. The clock's ticking, you know. This is like 5 years of Unis Honest, so to speak. But instead of Markiplier and friends, it's just me laughing at Unis Honest clips, especially when Mark made the drill dough. But like, this guy was around for a lot of things. Like, I didn't really follow MatPat for all these years for anything until everyone started to get fascinated with the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, and then and my brother, you know, as a young kid, because most young kids were fascinated by Five Nights at Freddy's, so they wanted to understand the lore, and he broke it down. And that's basically kind of how I got sucked into it, because like, there's a lot of theories that I still hold to my chest, because like, some games, I believe, if you have multiple theories but you always believe in that one theory, that theory is always going to last a lot longer than most. But yeah, this is kind of shocking.
If you think about it, this channel is Steph and my first child, really. My reasons for making this announcement today is probably largely the same as Tom's reasons, or Seth Everman's, or Captain Sparkles, or Papa Meats, or Stampy Longheads. Like, there's a lot of these videos that are coming out these days, and there's gonna be a lot more happening throughout this year. Steph and I have known this video would be coming for the last 3 years. We weren't sure it was necessarily gonna be today. We didn't know exactly when it would fall, but we knew it was going to happen eventually. That's why over the last couple years we've been staffing up so much. That's why we partnered with a larger company to help run the channels. That's why we've been spending so much time outside of this box training up the team to make the best videos that they can. Because we knew that we couldn't do this forever. We knew that honestly we didn't want to do this forever. For as much as I love you and I love overthinking things and I love theorizing, I don't love late nights. I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade, where I'm sitting down at dinner with my best friend and we're talking about business logistics, or we're talking about animatronic toads. I miss the days where I could just sit down on the couch with her and play video games, and it's not for content. Or I'm playing a game and I'm not thinking about what theories are going to come out.
See, and that's something that, as we got into a point where now streaming is more of a more evolved, and almost anyone can stream now, like through like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, Kick, you know, etc, D Live, even. That's I'm still amazed that they're still going. The fact that this guy's been going for so long, and that's kind of the thing. Like, you know, I was listening to a Jesse Cox interview that he did a couple years ago. It was about I think it was like a year or two after Total Biscuit passed away. And Total Biscuit came up in the conversation. And one of the things that Jesse said, like, and I'm it's not word for word, but I think in the context of, you know, your buddy of many years is sick, and like, you know, he's going through all this like really serious stuff. He said like during his last few years, like Total Biscuit didn't do many streams. Like, he played a game that he could play mindlessly and just, you know, interact with people. And then he had games that he could play with his family and everything in between of that, you know. And I could think about that, and I sit there and go like, wow, you know, I think as this generation is trying to become the next YouTuber, the next big Jake Paul, next big Logan Paul, heaven forbid, you know, the next Markipliers or the Jacksepticeye's, because, like, you know, I totally forgot about this. Jacksepticeye is like 6 years older than me, and he's about to turn 30. I think he's 37, or he's about to become like. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm right. Oh, he's 30. So he's 3 years older than me. He's turning 33, whereas like someone like Markiplier is also 4 years older than me. Like, YouTube has become such a young man's sport, and a lot of people don't tend to realize that. And that's something that I never thought about. But now that we're starting to see older people do it and everything like that, there's some people who are actually having a good time doing it because it gets them out and about. They're interacting with people and everything like that. Which is fine. Like, that's the reason why I started streaming, is because I wanted to get out of my shell and, you know, I guess for lack of a better word, get out of my shell and try to live the dream of it. And it's kind of spoiler alert, you know, only having like a couple hundred on DLive, couple on Twitch, and like a handful here on the YouTube side, for both channels, my personal and my Alpha on Air channel. Like, I'm and don't get me wrong, I'm blessed. Like, if the world was to disappear tomorrow, I would be fully content in knowing that, like, you know, some people enjoyed my content, and like, you know, and I had a good time doing it. Like, you know, there was a lot of upset times, and there's a lot of good times, you know. I mean, I've gotten to meet, like, you know, people like Epicism, you know, 3D Live, and I've gotten to know a lot of people who are becoming affiliates, right, like, I was there for day one, and they became affiliates, and like every once in a while when I see them, I'll pop in and they're like, dude, I haven't seen you in a while, we need to talk. I'm like, okay, cool, like, no problem, you know. And like, it's always good to kind of think about all those people that I've met over the years, you know. And but it doesn't beat like that aura that we had as kids, right? Like it doesn't beat the aura that we had of like enjoying games with our friends, where there's no pressure, there's no like, hey, we need to get a video out before Tuesday. We have to like stack about 6 videos of CS:GO before we go do like VidCon or TwitchCon, all these different cons, right? And you know, I think this kind of humbles me back, brings me back to a state of humbleness a lot, because you know Matt has been MatPat's been around for ages. Like, I know the other projects, the movie theorists and the food ones, were a little bit more recent stuff, to the point where I think adding on to those things was kind of a task, so to speak. Like, I remember having this conversation with a buddy of mine a long time ago, and I said, you know, I think MatPat's so good, he should just do a channel of, rename his channel just The Theorist, and he could just do like one video about a video game here, and then like one about a movie theory here. Like, it gets him in different varieties, but he's working on one thing at a time, and that also gives him time to take a break from playing video games and theorizing about those and everything. But I see where he's coming from with this.
I miss it. So that's a big reason. That was a big one right there. But also just the internet's changing. My life has changed in the last 13 years. I mentioned Dolly before. He's the coolest little dude, and he's getting older by the minute. And I watch him, and he has so much fun, and he is so much smarter than I was when I was his age. He also probably knows the FNAF lore better than I do, which is a problem that I should probably address at some point. But honestly, I want to be able to spend more time with him. Another sad fact of the matter is...
And see, that's another thing too. Like, he's older, especially if you have children. Like, that's a big deal. Like, you know, like, I've done this for so long, like, you know, but there's some things I regret. One of those of which being like not being around a lot in my brother's life, and that to chase this dream, and you know, and that's the big risk with some of these things sometimes. But you know, over the years, like I started just to kind of stray back a little bit of that, because like, you know, I was trying to be more consistent in my brother's life, and you know, he's getting older. I think that's the reason why I kind of put the do this till 35 rule kind of in play for like the last 6 years, or for the last, actually 4 to 6 years. Yeah, we'll kind of go with that, because I don't remember. This is my brain literally scrambled. So.
I'm getting older. I'm 37 now. The other day.
He's 37? He doesn't look a day over 27. He looks 27. He looks younger than me. Okay. Well, I mean, it's the makeup probably, but you know, I mean, I never thought about that, but yeah.
Today, I actually had to Google my own age, and you know that when you have to start like doing math in your head to calculate how old you are over the hill, my friends. Though to be fair, to my credit, I think I'm like the only 37-year-old out there who has an unironic appreciation of Skibidi Toilet. Then again, maybe that's the problem, right? Like, maybe that's not a good thing.
Skibidi Toilet. I love Skibidi Toilet memes.
And honestly, because this is all about us being honest, there is a bit of a selfish side to this. When you think about it, there's only really 2 ways to step away from a YouTube channel. You either just decide the day that you stop uploading and you're like, I'm done, or you just keep uploading videos from now until the heat death of the universe, and you watch as your relevance slowly dies or your passion slowly dies. And for me and my journey in this place, I always wanted to go out on a high note. And when you stop and look at the last year, this has been the best year in the theorist lifespan ever. Like, no joke. It is our highest view year. It is the year where we launched Style Theory and immediately put our foothold in a brand new space, and that took off, and now we're one of the top style and fashion channels on YouTube. And that kind of completes the trifecta of, hey, we now have a top channel in 4 different verticals that are completely different, and no other YouTuber really has ever been able to do it to that scale. That's amazing. This is also the year where I was able to meet you guys at our Broadway show. I was able to play at the PGA and show that, hey, YouTubers aren't particularly good at golf, but they can make your event relevant for like a couple of minutes. It was also the year that I got to host the Streamy Awards, and it wasn't cringe. I mean, to be fair, the Streamy Awards are always a little bit cringe, but it was the right amount of cringe.
The Streaming Awards was pretty cringe, but it was funny though. Like I did watch the VOD of it. It was not bad.
I pull up videos of all my favorite creators, and I watch them, and all of a sudden I start hearing people just casually dropping, "That's just a theory."
It's just a theory, a game theory. Now, this is just a theory, people.
At the end of the day, it's just a game theory.
That's just a theory. A Freebirds theory.
Also a lot of lore, so if you're a big theory head, proceed at your own risk.
I did not know about this theory.
That's a theory.
Okay.
That right there, that is incredible. And that's the note that I want to leave on. And that's how you just know it's the right time. All of those reasons coming together, saying, hey, this is not be familiar with at this point, is how the game ends. You want talking to start your adventure. And even though your mom's there, and your dog's there, and your weird telephone, these new friends, you are different. If Unis Honest taught us anything, it taught us that you probably shouldn't use urine for a personal sauna. But if Unis Honest taught 2 things, 1 was to not soak in your own urine, but 2 was to appreciate the time that you have left. So that's why over the next 10 weeks, we're going to have a bunch of theories that are going to be a lot of fun, revisiting old favorites, getting some closure on things. We're going to see some familiar faces, a lot of awesome stuff. Although to be fair, I think it's 9 weeks, and I think we counted this one as week 1. That was stupid of us. That, my friends, is how you wind up getting Wario being 10 feet tall. Mathematical
I've heard that theory. It's a game theory. See? This man. I love it when influence hits me.
Double check the numbers. So I have 9 theories left on each of the channels, but we're going to call them Matt Pat's Final 10 because that just sounds better. At which point then on March 9th, we're going to have that big going away celebration, Matt Pat's Final Theory, and I just dust away. I stand astride my Music Man and I just whip a Nene off into the distance. But then something special happens. Do the channels go away with me? No, actually. I've always thought that anyone can be a theorist, right? If you are passionate about a topic and you love to overthink it and over-research it, then congratulations, you're a theorist. And that could range from, hey, I have family recipes that I'm constantly looking to refine, to, hey, I want to create the perfect fantasy sports team. Because here's the thing, sports pros, at the end of the day, if you are in the statistics and numbers and doing calculations to see if your team won or lost, you're just playing a glorified Dungeons and Dragons game. I hate to break it to you, you're one of us, my friend.
Son of a bitch. I could have been playing Dungeons and Dragons all my life because I watch hockey and I watch football. I know the statistics. Bullshit.
And sure, game theory is a format that I created. It's a show with this very excitable host who makes a lot of cringy dad jokes and says the word lore a lot. But at the end of the day, it's more than just the host. It is a show. It is a format. And in a broader sense, it is a state of mind. It's a way of thinking and approaching the world around you. It's more on every single one as the writer because I touch every single script, I polish it in my voice. But in all honesty, the bulk of what I'm saying is coming from someone else. It's their research. It's their work. Why should they have to filter their creativity through my voice? I've always envisioned these channels as a place where we can spotlight all sorts of creators. I mean, it even goes back to the original URL of this channel, right? It isn't game theory. It was always the game theorists because this was a place where you could find a lot of like-minded creators, all with a passion for gaming and education. That's why we had the partner shows like Gaijin Goomba with Culture Shock, or Drake with Smash History, or Ryder with A Brief History, or Austin with The Science, and Lee with Breakdown. They were all here because we all had a similar goal, to educate people through the lens of gaming. And then YouTube pivoted and then made it so that way doing a channel in that style doesn't really work anymore, but we still try to keep that ethos alive by making sure that we're regularly covering small indie projects. Stuff like OnlyCans, like Mandela Catalog, like OWO. OWO?
OWO.
But if we're doing that for all these other creators, why aren't we doing it for the creators on our own staff?
The OWO. Oh my god. Why?
Not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as old man YouTube passing this along to the next generation, I should probably do my best to try and make it more sustainable for them. It's also going to people that you're already familiar with. You've seen them showing up in shorts, you've seen them here on the couch with me for GT Live, you've sometimes seen them washing their hair with me in my own shower. Don't read too much into that, but it is accurate. Most importantly,
Rule 34. Rule 34.
Though they're each an expert in their own individual subject matter, and they've been spearheading the creative of the channels for the better part of the last year. And I think what's maybe the most fascinating about all of this is that each of the four of them come to us from a completely different angle. You know, so for instance, you have Lee, right? Lee's going to be taking over Film Theory, and Lee has been with us for 10 years. 10 years. It's crazy. I believe he was actually editor number 3 for the channels. We had Ronnie, and then we had Ryder, Foot of a Ferret, and then we had Lee. I think his first theory that he ever worked on was Rosalina's Peach's daughter, Peach is Dead. One of my all-time favorite episodes that we've ever done on the channel. And over time, he rose up. He had his own show on the channel here. He had Breakdown, which were these just beautiful documentaries that were edited in such an incredible way. And since then, he's been spearheading a lot of the creative on both the writing and the visual side. And then, of course, you have Amy over on Style Theory. And Amy is actually a very different case here. When she first approached us, I think it was 6 years ago, she didn't know about the channels. She was consulting the largest...
Okay, so, like, I think, so I'm more curious about the... Who's taking over the Game Theory one?
That maybe one day she would be able to rise into the hosting role for it. Now here it is. And then, of course, you have Santi and Tom. Santi over on Food Theory and Tom over here on Game Theory. And interestingly enough, they both grew up watching Game Theory. We were their childhood show, which, to be fair, just shows how old we are. Santi would eventually...
Ugh. I feel old.
With Rhett and Link for coming here, where he is bravely spearheading Food Theory and letting me mercilessly make fun of all of his recipes. He's much better than I give him credit for. I just like giving him a hard time. And then Tom, he worked at Disney and Fox, but he knew all along that he wanted to be here, right? Like, this was his aspirational goal. He wanted to write here. He emailed us a cold email outreach. We just miraculously saw it, decided to audition him, and he crushed it. His first episode that he worked on was actually watching every single installment of the Pokemon anime to calculate Pikachu's level. And to be fair, that was his pitch. Like, I have asked people to do some crazy things in the past, but not even I'm that brutal. Like, you can only watch Team Rocket blast off so many times, but he's like, this is an episode I'm passionate about. I think I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark, and I'm going to show you how committed I am. And he has been so committed ever since. So committed, in fact, that I told him, hey, if you're joining the channels, you do realize that you're going to have to read every single FNAF book. And he's like, boom, he did it. And we're up here going crazy in the FNAF attic. But not only did he read every FNAF novel.
FNAF attic. Oh my goodness. Speaking of FNAF, like I've been hearing a lot of things that some of the shadow writers for the books are starting to take over for the lore. I guess the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's finally decided to kind of like give the blessing to him and to some of them, I should say, because I think there's like multiple writers. So it's a team that's actually going to take over and continue the pizzeria, so to speak. I mean, that's a theory, a game theory. And if so, I mean, I actually did read some of the books. Because, you know, I watched Game Theory, and these books are not too bad. You know, it kind of makes you think about lore a lot more in terms of like older movies and everything. That's the reason why I like watching movie theorists, because I always like movie theories a little bit more than game theories.
He also read every single Hello Neighbor book. Yeah, he went that far. Currently, he's working his way through Bendy because the new movie's coming out. If nothing else, I think that really proves his level of commitment and also his appropriate level of insanity. He's a bit off the cuff at times. Like, I don't know if you saw on a recent GT Live, but Tom was here on the couch with me, and he actually denied that the moon existed, which was a choice.
Main character from the chat says, that sounds like somebody who doesn't have a flag on the moon.
I mean, that's if you believe it's even that. Oh, the moon?
I don't think so. It does. I'm gonna get some weird Majora's Mask theories. Let me...
Hold on, I gotta just this face.
I mean, that's if you believe it's even that. The moon?
That's the face right there. See, that's the face of what? That's funny. And also, I like to point out that they're drinking... I just realized they're drinking the Fanta mystery flavor, which is like the zero sugar mystery flavor, which I'm kind of surprised.
I'm going to be on GT Live from now until the foreseeable future, probably until the end of the summer. That feels about right. And then we have the big going away video on March 9th. After that, I, stand aside as Santi, Lee, Amy, and Tom step up and take over the hosting role. But I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be alongside the creative directors talking about programming, brainstorming ideas for upcoming episodes. That's awesome. I love that. I don't want to give that up. But the other cool thing about this is that it opens up the door for me to turn the script. For the last 13 years, I've been commenting on other people's IP, but now that I'm stepping out of those roles, I get to create the IP. Still as a part of Theorist, but I get to create things that are going to challenge those new hosts of the channel. Things that I've had in the back of my mind from years of studying media that I can now make a reality, and the channels can comment on them. Things like
So he's basically going to go into like a Markiplier-esque type of deal because like as many people have seen, Markiplier has been doing like these big video projects and everything like that, and now he's about to do a new project called Iron Lung, which it's based off the game Iron Lung, which I'm looking forward to it because Markiplier is really good with understanding horror lore, and he gives the respect where it needs to be given with a lot of horror games and everything like that. And I think a lot of people don't give horror its due, like its roses, so to speak. I would like to see him play Prop Hunt again. Like it's been so long since I seen him play that. But yeah, let's see. But I think that's enough of the video. Matt Pat, I thank you for what you're doing and everything like that. And what you're doing in your whole life. Cheers. No. But that's it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this is gonna work, because I tested this thing out multiple times and I either get no sound but you guys hear it, so I can't monitor it, or the other way around. So I hope it works. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, love, chickers. Have this holy team.
Hey, what's up, small dog? I'm happy for you. Very happy. No more drinking, right? No more smoking. I'm kind of very happy for you. Peace and love.